Hi friends, so I found this wooden house at the thrift store, and I used this Abundantly Blessed stencil from the Dollar Tree, and I made this chippy, weathered looking old house. So let's get started, and I'll show you how I did it. Here's the wood house that I bought, and it was torn on the corner there, and it was kind of cute, but it needed some work. So I painted it all in Java paint by Folk Art, chalk paint, and now you'll see me doing the front. So I already did the sides and the back, and I did 2 coats all over. So it was kind of slick, so the first coat wouldn't have been enough, so I dried it and then put a second coat on. So now I'm using a votive candle from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going all over the surface, all the sides and the back too, and the front especially. And now I'm going to use white Adirondack paint, chalk paint by Folk Art, and I'm going to put just one good layer on top of all that, even the back side. And it's starting to get thickened up. I should have added a little bit of water and stirred it up before I got started. So you can see it takes a minute to get it to pour out. But so I poured a little bit on my little piece of cardboard there, sitting there too. So I just spread that all over. One good coat is all it needed. So I do the front and the sides and the top, give that a dry, and then I lay it on the front, and I will get the back. Okay, I've got it all done, and now I'm going to take a scraper, just got this at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to scrape all over, and where the wax was on the heaviest, it just chips right off, and it just gives it that old kind of weathered look, like it's wood or something that's been out in the weather for years. And some people don't like this look, and some people do. So I definitely like the weathered old vintagey look. And this front, I put a little bit more wax on, so it comes off and little more chippier on the front. And I really like how it turned out. It's kind of messy, so I just have to get a paper towel or something and just wipe the surface, and then wipe my work area too. These are some little thankful and blessed stencils I got at the Dollar Tree. Now, they're really cute, but fair warning, they are super, super thin and flimsy. So next time I use one, I'm going to get some Pixie sticky spray to spray on the back so it adheres all over. Because like you can see, I taped it on there really well, but there's lots of little pieces inside the design. And you have to just kind of hold it down with your fingertips. And so I didn't have any on hand, but next time I'm going to order some from Amazon and just get some of that Pixie spray to hold it all down. And here I thought I had black, but as soon as I put it on there, I realized, nope, that's navy blue. So now I'm going to use some Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which is a black. And I'm just had to kind of stir it a little bit and just getting a little bit on my board there. And I'm just using a little dauber, and you get a little bit on, and then you dab it onto a paper towel or something, so you have very little onto whether you're using a stencil brush or just these little foam daubers. You just don't want it very heavy. Then you just keep dabbing up and down all over your design. Sometimes it takes a little, like one coat, and then dry it, and then go over with a second coat and get the places you missed. But like I said, it's really flimsy, and parts of those little pieces of plastic kind of keep popping up, and so I had to hold them as I was pouncing. But overall, it worked out okay, but it definitely would have been easier to have some sticky on the back. So you just carefully go all over and look closely and make sure you're getting all your design really well. Definitely took a little bit of effort here. But I loved the little phrase, abundantly blessed. So I'm just going to peel off the tape first and just gently lift up the whole thing. And now there's a couple places that I had to fix with a little thin paintbrush, just where the lines didn't finish, like on the E's and the S. So I just used a thin little paintbrush and just a tiny little bit of dabbed paint on there and just fixed a couple spots. And then in the end, I ended up using my Posca paint markers and even fixing them up even more. So now I'm just grabbing some twine. I'm going to glue it on the back. And I'm going to wrap it around. I think I wrapped it 4, maybe 5 times. And then I glued the end and back again. Looks like 5 times I wrapped it. I just glue that end on there. Make sure it's straight in the front and everything. And now I'm going to take that same twine and wrap it around my fingers 3 times probably. And then I leave a little bit longer tail on one and wrap it around the center 3 or 4 times. Then I just glue that on the left side of all that twine. And then I'll trim up the tails. And I have 2 tiny keys that I used a thin little piece of twine to tie them together. So now I'm going to glue those hanging down from the center of the bow. And after I get those positioned on there where I want them, I'll glue a button on the top of those. And now lastly, I'm going to make a little wreath for the top center, and like the one I just showed you quickly. So I've got this little paper wire twine, and so I'm just going around my fingers and making the size of a circle that I want, and I just keep going round and round till it's thick enough that I like it. And then I leave extra bit, and I keep weaving it in and out and around it, the edge, all the way around the edge, and it just kind of looks like one of those twig wreaths. And now I'm just going to take some of those tiny little leaves that I use these a lot. I got this little sprig of greenery at Walmart. And so I just cut off the tiny little leaves, and I'm just going all the way around and just randomly gluing them in spots. And they're really tiny, so you have to be very, very careful not to burn your fingers. And I thought it turned out really cute, so I'm just going to glue it right in the center there. And for a list of items that I used in this project, I'll have them linked below this video. Sure and check those out if anything interests you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support, and you have a whimsical day. Thanks so much.